Hello everyone, let's cut and sew this beautiful shift dress with tassels together. So I put my fabric on fold. In order to determine what you need to fold, you measure from the nape of your neck to where you want your sleeves to end. For me, it's 18 inches and I added 1 inch for seam allowance, which makes it a total of 19 inches. Then from that 19 inches point, I marked down 2 inches. That will be my shoulder slope. And I'm going to be connecting the 2 inches shoulder slope to my neckline. So for my neckline, I'm using a neck width of 3.25 inches. You can decide to use 3 inches, and I'm going to be connecting it to my shoulder slope that I marked earlier. I marked a length of 36 inches for this dress, and I added 1.5 inch seam allowance, hemming allowance to the bottom. But I later reduced the length by 2 inches because I wanted the dress really short. So this is me marking it. Next, I'll be measuring my sleeve opening from my 2 inches shoulder slope. I'm trying to figure out how big I want it on my body, and that's me marking it on my body, measuring it on my body and just adding a few allowance. So I decided to mark 8.5 inches for the sleeve opening. Then I'm going to be marking my neck depth. I'm using 1.25 inches and I'll be connecting it to the neck width to make a curve using my free hand. You can decide to use your curved ruler. Next, I'll be marking my waistline. For this dress, you really don't need your bust line, hip line and all of that. So I just marked my waistline because it's basically a rectangle. So I marked my waistline. I marked 11 inches for my hip. Then I added 3 inches allowance, including my seam allowance. Then I'm just going to be connecting this point to my sleeve opening that I marked earlier, and I'm just ruling it out in order to get a straight line, to get a perfect curve. Using my curved ruler, I'm going to be connecting it together right there. So these 14 inches that I have, I'm going to be marking it all the way down to the hemline of the dress. So it's basically just a straight skirt, no straight dress, excuse me, no curves and all. So I'm going to be adding my seam allowance to my shoulder line. I'm going to be adding a seam allowance of 1/2 inch to my shoulder line there. And then I'm going to be ruling a straight line at my sleeve opening there. Then right there, I came out by about 0.25 inches so that when I'm folding my sleeve, I don't have shortage there. When you're cutting your dress, you understand what I'm saying. Then this is me just cutting it out. That's the back. I cut the back piece first. Now I folded my fabric again in order to cut the front piece, and I'm marking my neck width first. It has the same neck width. Then from the original shoulder line, I'm marking it out, and I'm marking about 7.75 inch for my neck depth. and I'm making a V neckline for the front neckline. From that point, I'm marking my pocket opening. I used 19 inches here, but I figured out it was too low, so you can use about 18 inches for your pocket opening. So I'm just cutting out the front. I'm going to be notching the pocket opening that I marked earlier. Then I'll be cutting out my V neckline for the front. Because this fabric for the wrong side and the right side, they look so much alike, I'm marking the wrong side so I don't get confused. Next, for my pocket, I folded my fabric to get the length of about 20 inches and a width of about 8 inches on fold. Then I folded it again, as you can see in the video. Then I'm going to be marking about half of an inch first, ruling that out with my ruler. I'm placing my hand after this line and with a little bit of allowance, and I'm going to be making a curve round it. Just watch the video and you see what I'm saying. My pocket opening is around 8 inches, so I'm going to be cutting it out. I am opening up the folded side and trimming it out in order to get my exact 0.5 inches there. Then again, for this fabric, I'm marking the wrong side because both sides look alike. They are so similar, so I don't get confused. And that's that for the cutting. Then moving on to the sewing, I'm going to be turning my neckline with a bias tape. So I'm placing the right side of the bias against the right side of my neckline, and I'm going to be sewing it on the first line of the bias. Then I'll turn it over to the wrong side and I'll sew. Okay, there you have it. My back neckline is done. Then I'm moving on to my front neckline, and I'm going to be doing the same thing with it using my bias tape. Place the right side of the bias against the right side of the fabric, sew it, then flip it over to the wrong side and sew it again. Next, I'm going to be placing the right sides of the fabric against each other in order to join this shoulder line. I'm going to go ahead and join the shoulder lines together. Then I'm going to press all my seams and my neckline. Then I'm going to go ahead and weave the shoulder line in order to have a neat work. Then that's my sleeve opening. I'm going to be folding it by 1 inch allowance that I left earlier. I'm double folding it, then I'm sewing it down. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the other side of the sleeves as well. I'm going to be folding by 1/2 inch first, then another 1/2 inch, and I'm going to be sewing it down. Please, if you are a beginner, you need to pin before you sew in order for your work to be neat and perfect. That's just me trimming out the excess I have there. Then next I'm going to be fixing my pockets. So remember the pocket opening with notch. I'll be placing my pocket at the notch, right side of the fabric facing the right side of the pocket, and I'm going to be joining with about 0.25 inch. Then I'm going to be doing this for the other side of the front. Then I'll join the pockets to the two sides of the back fabric. After doing this, I'm going to be joining my front and my back, starting from the sleeve opening, around the pocket and down to my hemline. Then after this, I'm using a sewing allowance of about 0.5 inches. After this, I'm going to go ahead and weave around it and also hem my hemline and weave it also. Then to fix the tassel, I'm using my needle and thread to tack it. I'm inserting my needle in between the hem allowance and the main fabric. Then I'm just going to stitch my tassel on it. I'm stitching only the hemming allowance, making sure my stitches don't show on the right side of the fabric. So I just try to secure my stitches as much as I can. I used a total of about 8 tassels rounded at the hem of my dress. You can use as much as you want to, but I just liked the look that height gave me. And there you have it, done. Our dress is ready. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.